one game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. It's gotta mean something to you. It gotta mean something. Everything you got. Everything you got. Let's finish this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
Finish 2-3. 1, 2, 3. Finish.
And it remains an absolute fact. To me, not just a fact, an unarguable fact that the NBA All-Star Game is far and away the best All-Star Game in any sport. And it's not close. You know how motherfuckers on TV be like, and it's not particularly close. It's not fucking close. It's not particularly fucking close, G. The NBA, I told y'all yesterday, the NBA All-Star Game is going to save the weekend after that atrocious dunk contest. Subpar 3. And I don't even want to really shit on the three-point contest. It just was flat. Dead ass. Like, Trae Young was the one who everybody wanted to win. And as much as we like Trae Young, he ain't a household dude yet. It just is what it is. I'm not hating on Trae Young. I love Trae Young. Ice Trae, chilling this motherfucker. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, you put Steph Curry in that competition and instantly, you know, the bar has been raised. It's instantly that much more exciting. Put Klay Thompson, Dame Lillard, you know what I'm saying? They don't even have to win, but you already know it's going to be more exciting with them dudes in it because now you got somebody who you truly want to root for. But the All-Star Game, bro, it's just unbelievable. For one, they was playing some light defense early in the second quarter. Like, they play defense at the end of every quarter now because they want to win these quarters for their charities. Durant's charities got to be getting, you know, a little bit ticked at this point. You know what I'm saying? What I will say about this, though, is it is kind of dope how the winning team get $400,000, the losing team get $300,000. That's fire. I like that. Dead ass. Like, if it was, because I was paying it, I don't know why I was paying attention to that towards the end of the game, but towards the end of the game when they was mentioning how much, because I did want to see what's the difference between first and second, because in my mind I was like, this is an all-star game, it's an exhibition. I really feel like, because I'm not a moral victory, you know, spirit award type of motherfucker. I'm not. But with this type of weekend, because this weekend, in my opinion, in the NBA is a celebration of the greats. Like the current greats, the future greats, the present greats, the past greats, current and present is the same thing, but you know what I was saying. Past, present, and future greats of the game. You know. So I think the NBA do it the best. For one, not just the All-Star game. Usually the entire All-Star weekend is just by far the best in the league because I just love how the NBA celebrate their players or their coaches. Like, to me, the historians of the game, anybody who played a great part in the NBA, like being what it is today, I just love how the NBA celebrates its players. What other organization, what other billion-dollar corporation you see celebrating black men like this? This is why so many young black men gravitate towards basketball. Because this is one of the industries in which they can look at this sport and they can see dudes that look just like them, not just succeeding and thriving, but they see an industry that love these dudes. That, like the NBA said something during the halftime show, and the halftime show was legendary. Going through the 75 team and all the different, like, that was legendary. But something that they said in the NBA, they was like, the NBA is where names become brands. That's dead at who the biggest athlete brand of all time? Jordan. You got Steph Curry with his own brand, LeBron with his own brand, Kobe with his own brand. So many different athletes in the NBA and legends of the game become brands. Their name become brands. Magic Johnson. Like, come on, man. Dr. J. Like, to me, the NBA does such a unbelievably great job at honoring their players and celebrating their players, whether it be past, present, or future greats. Like, I just love how the NBA do it. And looking at that shit tonight made me realize, like, this is why so many of us young black men and young black boys grow up idolizing different NBA players and shit. This is why so many people idolize Curry, LeBron, Jordan. Who else we got? T-Mac, Paul Pierce, Dr. J, Wilt, Magic, because you see so many of these black men celebrated. What other brand can a black man have a shoe brand to become what it is for Jordan other than the NBA? And not even just on the court. Like, look how many black men are head coaches, or hold high-ranking positions in organizations. Shit, they even got a black owner in MJ. The NBA is just far more, and this ain't like shocking breaking news or nothing, but just in case you're not paying attention, the NBA is just far the most progressive sport by a landslide. I don't even think it's close right now. Like, and no, I'm not saying the NBA perfect. I'm pretty sure they're not perfect, but they far more progressive and far along than these other sporting industries. And I love the NFL. That's my favorite sport to watch. But no, nobody do it like the NFL, like the NBA when it comes to celebrating players, yo. Like, they legitimately put their players on a pedestal and make them larger than life characters. In the NFL, it's all about the shield. In the NBA, they like, yeah, we want you to represent and uphold the logo, to the best of your ability. But fuck the logo. Most people growing up don't even know that Jerry West is the logo. And most people don't ask, we should change it to Jordan, to Kobe, LeBron. Like, multiple players wanted that to be changed. So it's not about the logo in the NBA. Yeah, like I said, they want you to uphold the logo, like any industry wants you to uphold their industry and whatnot and make it look good. But they all about the player. Player. And that's why the NBA continue to progress. People might hate it and shit like that, but the NBA know. They understand. Like, you can hear people complain about big time free agents going and teaming up and shit like that. And I heard KG say something about that the other day. And I thought to myself, like, do these dudes be thinking sometimes, and all respect to KG, but I thought to myself, like, do these dudes be thinking when they say shit sometimes, like, I understand it don't cost nothing to hate, but it don't cost nothing to show love either. Like, you don't only have to show love to, like, the ultra goats and shit of the game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to see none of these legends disrespecting LeBron. Well, you do still see them disrespect LeBron from time to time. But for the most part, you're not going to see none of these legends of the game disrespect Bron, Curry, KD, Giannis, even though I do see some people still kind of disrespect KD at times. But for the most part, these dudes, I understand these type dudes ain't getting disrespected, the Kobe's. But come on, man. Give these young dudes some credit, man. Like, I don't understand this. And also, I don't understand this team up thing like KG. Bro, just because you didn't personally go in free agency or demand a trade or whatever, even though you was traded, you still played with Pearson, Allen, and Rondo, and a lot of other great players around that cast. Like, so, what are we doing? Your ring legitimately came from you winning with a big three. That was the start of the big. Truly, it wasn't the start of the big three era, because when you look back at most of the teams that won, they were stacked usually. Like, people love the Showtime Lakers. I don't never hear about people talking about the Showtime Lakers or the Boston teams, the Jordan team. Like, I never hear the Bulls teams. My bad. But I never hear people talking about that. But for some reason, these old dudes want to complain about that big three in Miami. For some reason, the fucking Celtics seem to be the only big three that don't nobody really fucking throw shade at, because the Danny Ainge put that team together. Like, man, that shit is just the most moronic fucking defense to it. Like, not to mention these motherfuckers, and I don't want to be disrespectful because I like Paul Pierce and KG, but bruh, y'all dudes won one chip, bro. These motherfuckers be talking like they won 2, 3, 4, 5 fucking rings. Y'all boys won one chip, and then LeBron said enough with it. It's my league now. So come on, man. I think these motherfuckers gotta stop with this hating. This hating is ugly. But the All-Star festivities in the NBA, bro, and how they celebrate their players is just absolutely amazing. Like, I really think people should go back and watch the halftime show from this year. As I was watching the halftime show, I was like, yo, this might be the best halftime show they done ever done. Now, I'm biased when it comes to the Kobe one, because that's my favorite player all the time. But like this halftime show, the celebration of their players and whatnot, that was just so fire to me. Like, I don't know. I'm always gonna prefer them if they can find dope ass ways to celebrate dudes that help push their league forward, that help make their league great. Because at the end of the day, you can love these teams and you can love I'm just a fan of the team or the NBA. Yeah, I understand that. And you keep saying, and people continue to tell me, oh, these players are replaceable. And once you got owners that think like that and fans think like that, I just think they too far gone. But because you replaceable in your job if you want to look at it like that. So, I mean, dead ass, your job gonna keep going whether you there or not. But so, in the NBA, I understand people want to be ignorant and say shit like that. But at the end of the day, if the players stop playing and the players stop being great, nobody would watch. You don't watch it because it's basketball. You watch it because these great players are performing and playing the basketball at the highest level. Levels at which not your normal people can do it at. And you can keep telling me, oh man, I got a homie in the park every day who can do this shit. Yeah, whatever. That's what I was thinking last night when Kenny was talking about, I know 10 people in the park right now who can do the 3-point contest. No, you don't. No, you don't. For one, most park courts and whatnot is not regulation 3-pointers. That's for one. Then you got some of them bitches that be double rims. Then you got some of the bitches that be leaning and shit. God forbid you run into a park where the rim is like an inch or two short or too high. Like, come on, stop it. Stop it. And you'd be surprised at how many fucking courts you go to where the rim is like 2 inches higher than regulation or NBA height. You'd be surprised. Now, you wouldn't be shocked if you grew up where I grew up. Now, you wouldn't be shocked about double rim. Anybody who grew up in the hood know you done seen multiple double rim courts, bro. Like, straight up. You done seen it too many times to call. But, yeah, I'm tired of hearing people say that. You don't know nobody in the park that can do this shit. Because if you did, they would be in the league, bro. Stop it. But the NBA All-Star Weekend, do such a unbelievable job at celebrating the players. Like, I can't say enough about it. Like, it's dope as shit. It's dope as shit. Like, because I just don't know. I understand most sports do it. They celebrate their players. I just don't think no sport do it as great as the NBA. Not to mention the NBA do it consistently. It feel like they always celebrating their players. Oh, and real quick, the NBA All-Star unis this year, hideous. I know they was the silver type shit or platinum because of the NBA 75th anniversary, but the fucking uniforms was hideous. Like, easily the ugliest All-Star uniforms I've ever seen. And I looked at them bitches all game trying to decide if I was gonna change my mind on it. They got worse and worse by the more I looked at them, yo. I hated them fucking unis, bro. But Curry dropped 50 in it, so the price just went up. But them shits was hideous. But I do understand why they look the way they looked. I just thought they could have done, man, they could have done, for one, they didn't have to have those ugly ass light blue and red accents going around like the collar and shit. You could have just went all platinum and then put those red and blue accents in different parts of the jersey and shit. Like, probably had a number and a name, like a little stripe here or there. Like, I just think the shits was hideous. But especially compared to the last couple All-Star game uniforms. Like, Nike definitely wasn't trying that hard when it came to these shits. All they cared about was the fact that the shits was gonna look silver or platinum, bro. And the intricate designs, when you look close at it, they was straight, but they wasn't nothing special. You want to know what they need to do, what Nike need to do? Because I really feel like the NBA does such an unbelievable job during their All-Star Weekend. Like, All-Star Weekend is a huge celebration. Like, I dare say that the NBA do the All-Star Weekend better than they do any event. Like, I think they do it better than the finals. Like, it's just, but and maybe I'm biased because I just love it when you celebrate players and people that, help you, that do great for you. Service to others. And because of them celebrating the guys and women who've served them, to me that's just fire. Because then you don't look at it as, oh, they served us. You look at it as it was a partnership. They helped us. They worked with us become what we are today. So to me, that's absolutely, like, just round of applause for the fucking NBA, bro. Round of fucking applause for the NBA. Hold up. Round of applause for the fucking NBA. Round of applause for the NBA. Just absolutely magnificent. But these other sports could learn a thing or two. Now, granted, like I said, the NFL need to just scrap their game because I don't think incentives would even help them motherfuckers play, because they just have decided that they're not going to tackle. And once they done made that decision, like I said, there's nothing you can do about it. You're going to have to scrap the game and turn it into a series of different type of mini games and game nights and shit like that. That's what it's going to have to become. And you're going to have to become creative with it to make it exciting. People are going to want to see it anyways, because people want to see these Pro Bowl players, outside of the helmets and shit. As much as they want to see them, trust me, you come up with ways where these players can let their personalities come shine through and shit like that, unless they're racist or something. But you let these dudes get around each other, be enjoyable, play these games and shit. That's why I had the Family Feud thing as the big event. Bro, fans will love that more than they love seeing these dudes go out there and walk around, jog, not tackle, two-hand tag. Trust me. And you would revenue far more money because people would want to see that shit. And you could do giveaways and shit with the fans throughout the whole broadcast and shit like that. Like, it's just so many different ways that the NFL could fix their Pro Bowl event. And they won't. Because I just don't think they truly give a fuck about celebrating a player. Because that's what that weekend should truly be. A celebration of your best players in the NFL. And I just don't think that they go above and beyond to celebrate their players. They go above and beyond to celebrate the fucking shield. To celebrate what the NFL is. But they don't go above and beyond to celebrate players unless it's like Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. You know what I'm saying? And it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't have to be a select group of people that you celebrate. The NBA celebrate players we never even fucking heard of. Players we never even watched. Like, they still celebrate that because they don't care if you watched them or not. They know what they contributed to the game, and they celebrate them. That's how kids grow up knowing these. Bro, it's funny how kids don't know a lot of the old artists and shit like that nowadays, but they could tell you all the different. Now, I'm not talking about these bozo TikTok kids and shit, but just the regular fan. And this is another thing. The regular fan could name more NBA players if you saw them, like more of the big time NBA players, than the big time MLB players, because the MLB also don't celebrate their players. But it's the same with football. If I showed you a picture of multiple offensive linemen and told you to put the name or the face where the name is, most people would not, the casual fan would not know what their offensive linemen look like. Because as great as offensive linemen are, and as much as big a part as they play in the game, the NFL don't celebrate their players like the NBA. It just is what it is. And baseball probably as bad as the fucking NFL. I don't watch hockey, so I really can't speak on hockey, but the fact that you don't really hear about hockey should tell you everything you need to know about the players and shit. So I know who Sidney Crosby is. I know who Wayne Gretzky is. I know who, nope, I forgot his name. So Pete Subban. I know who he is. That's it. So these leagues could take a thing or two, or a whole bunch more from the NBA when it comes to celebrating their players. Because, for one, as long as the NFL got so many different issues and so many different systematic issues with race and all these other type things, they can make all the money they want to because people watch football. But they'll never culturally, to me, become. That's why you see so many. Bro, I never see people talk about NFL players the way people talk about NBA players. I just never see it. Tom Brady is like the exception. I never see it, not even for Peyton, like they talk about Tom Brady. Like, Tom Brady to me is one of the, and Peyton has he done superseded the sport, but nobody done superseded it like Tom Brady. Like, the crazy thing is, I'm pretty sure I could show somebody, a younger fan who watch football, who think he a great football fan. I'm almost certain I could show him a picture of Ray Lewis right now, and he wouldn't know who the fuck a Ray Lewis, what picture, like, who, he couldn't pick him out in a lineup. I could probably show him Terrell Suggs. He couldn't pick him out in a lineup. If I show somebody a picture of Tracy McGrady, I'm almost certain they could pick him out in a lineup. Vince Carter, Kobe Bryant. Like, to me, it's you know, it's night and day when it comes to both leagues, and that says to me more about the league and how they decide to celebrate players and whatnot. Dead ass. Because the NBA go above and beyond. They pull out all the stops. But they need to ask Nike to pull out some stops and get better with the unis, bro. What Nike need to do with the uniforms, because there's no reason why the NBA should go this hard and Nike drop the ball on the uniforms. What they should do one of these years is put players' stats on their jerseys, like in a graffiti style text. And I know the All-Star game in Utah next year. Listen, I know people going to talk about how racist some of them fans is in Utah, and that's facts. But from some of the pictures I done seen from the area of Utah, like, shit look pretty nice, just like Portland. So that'll probably be doper than fucking Cleveland. But I ain't even gonna hate on Cleveland because my boy Steph Curry dropped 50 points, bro. So Cleveland, this was for you. Booing my mans all weekend. Gave y'all another L, you bums. But no shade. Cleveland did what they were supposed to do. It was a great crowd. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. Plus, Curry lit it up. They couldn't help but cheer for him. That's the thing. Curry, one of them players that when he go crazy, bro, fans is straight up on. It don't matter if you a Cleveland fan. It don't matter what fan you is, bro. You're gonna go crazy for it because you're gonna be like, I've never seen a player do what the fuck this dude is doing right now. Hitting shots where he hitting them from with the difficulty of which he hitting them with. I know he was gassed too, because he by far played the most minutes in the shit. I was hoping that, and credit to him for hitting shots for far longer than I thought. I thought he was going to be burnt out to start the fourth. But he got deep into that last quarter before he actually finally burnt out and missed his last 6. This is why you have Curry, Giannis, and LeBron on the same team. Because on what other team could Curry miss his last 6 shots and they still win the game? No other team but with a team. Well, with KD, with KD and Clay too. But with motherfucking Giannis and LeBron, bro, a team with Giannis, LeBron, and Curry was never gonna lose. That's what you gotta understand. And to be honest with you, Team KD lucky that CP3 was hurt, because CP3 play hard every year in this game. So they lucky that he was hurt. But this game is so exciting every year. People can say what they want to. Oh, they don't play defense and blah. That's cap. For one, why do you want to see these dudes go out here and play as hard as they have to play in the regular season for games that mean something, when this, like I said, this weekend is supposed to be a celebration of these dudes, and they still giving you a great high-level exhibition game? Because for one, you don't see people doing what these motherfuckers is doing in the park. That's for one. Two, because I get irritated when people say, oh, the All-Star game ain't nothing but a glorified game in the park. No, it's not. I've never been to a game. I've never played a pickup game in the park or in the gym or nothing that looked anything like a fucking NBA All-Star game. Ever. You could find the absolute worst NBA All-Star game. And I've never seen any pickup games that looked anywhere near as good as a fucking NBA All-Star game. Stop the cap. You want these dudes to go out there and play hard as if they're playing for an NBA championship, and that's just not the case. They cannot afford to have one of these dudes pull a hammy, tear an ACL, or injure themselves severely and then compromise the second half of their team season because they are hurt. Because it's going to be a player that means a lot to their team, because that's why they are an all-star. So no, lower your expectations. You don't even have to lower them. Just make them more realistic. This is a break for these dudes, and they still playing. Their break is spent playing an exhibition game still. And credit to the dudes who go to the All-Star game and actually still play and try in the All-Star game, and don't just use that as a break also, because Jimmy Butler did that shit a couple years ago. And I understood fans saying like, yo, somebody should have been put in the All-Star game that actually would have played. And in the NBA, it's a little bit different because it's easy to find dudes that could have replaced Jimmy Butler, because it was dudes who was playing just as great as Jimmy Buckets was at that time. But I understand when somebody get denied. I mean, there's nothing you can do anyways once the game starts and you realize, oh, this motherfucker is just choosing not to play. And he was one of the better players in the league at the time. So, hey, I'm glad for players who actually come to the All-Star game and put an effort in there. That's why I fuck with Ben Simmons, bro. Ben Simmons go hard in the All-Star game. Him, Giannis. That's why at the end of this game too, I was like, Giannis gonna turn up. And he blocked Chris Middleton. Motherfucker started playing defense, coming back and running in transition like Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis Antetokounmpo. What a fire-ass fucking name. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Fire name. Anytime he and Steph Curry on the same court at the same time on the same team, good things gonna happen. And obviously, you know, Curry and Bron, two of the greatest players I've ever seen in my lifetime. You know, the GOATs of their generations. You know, the Larry and Magic of their generation. Of course, if they on the same team, you know it's going to be a problem. And Bron hit the turnaround game winner. DeRozan was on the court. I like seeing DeRozan and Bron bump chests like that after DeRozan went through hell because of LeBron for a couple years, man. Put DeRozan in a blender for a couple years, man. It was rough for Toronto going up against LeBron, bro. LeBron was dead ass the boogeyman for them motherfuckers, bro. It was crazy. I had never seen nothing quite like it. Until Curry started sunning the fucking Cavaliers and the Houston Rockets all the time. Then I was like, oh, this is very familiar. But the All-Star game was lit because, for one, they play defense at the end of almost every quarter because dudes want to win the quarter. Now, I will say this. Jared Allen, my boy, let's talk. I was already getting a little bit irritated with you because you was choosing not to try to block a shot. And I understand not trying to block every shot. But, bruh, you don't want to get one block in the All-Star game when it's a clear, easy block with a dude going up for a layup. So that was weird. But at the end of the first fucking quarter, my boy, it's a close quarter. We trying to win the quarter. Now we are playing defense. And you still letting motherfuckers get wide open, easy layups when you could clearly step in the way and stop it or contest it a little bit. Like, come on, my boy. I ain't even saying go full crazy and try to, you know, what you doing again. But you could step in the way and throw off the shot some. Like, my boy, we trying to win this quarter, my guy. Like, what are you doing with the kids? The kids, bro. The kids. Like, come on, man. But other than that, you know, Cleveland had a little highlight. Garland and Allen had their moments together. Garland hit a couple big buckets. Garland's a stud, as is Jared Allen, in my opinion. Like, I don't think that Brooklyn should have traded him. Now, it's easy to say that now because he's an all-star. But I thought back then when he was with the Nets, he was one of their better players, one of their better young players, and I felt like you could do. Now, granted, listen, he can't shoot, but the fact that he's willing to play defense the way he is, he can rebound the way he is, he efficient in the paint, you can throw him lobs, he can finish inside. Like, I like Jared Allen, and I think you put him with the right dude to help him train and get better and more efficient on offense, the better he gonna get. I really like Jared Allen. I think Jared Allen could be a center for a championship team. A center that's willing to roll to the basket, you can do shit with. And a center that's willing to contest shots at the basket, you can do a lot of shit with. That's one of the things that made Dwight so great. And in fairness, Dwight Howard, one of the most athletic centers that the NBA done ever seen. And it was absolutely disrespectful that Anthony Davis made the fucking NBA 75th anniversary team over Dwight fucking Howard. Bro. And it was other dudes who shouldn't have made the team over that 70. And I'm not here to shit on the people who made the team. Congratulations to everybody who made it. But it was dudes who made that team that should not have made it over Dwight fucking Howard, bro. Like, the way the NBA chose to disrespect Dwight Howard is just beyond me, bro. Like, it's beyond me. I just do not understand how you casually just leave Dwight Howard off of that team and think it's cool. And there's other dudes who belong on the team. But what you're not going to do is make an argument that Tony Parker, and I love Manu Ginobili. Love Manu! I love Manu Ginobili. Neither of them two motherfuckers should have made, they didn't make it. But even, I see people arguing for them. Not over fucking Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard is the glaring omission. Bro, Damian Lillard. I fuck with Dame. I like Dame. How the fuck did Damian Lillard make the NBA 75th team over Dwight fucking Howard? Like, that's insane to me, bro. Like, now the NBA, I just got done talking about how they do a great job at celebrating their players and all that, and that is still true. But this omission of Dwight Howard is just absolutely insane to me. Dwight Howard, to this day, aside from Shaq, because I'm trying to think of all the centers that I watched, the most dominant center that I have ever watched in my lifetime was Shaq. The second at their peak was Dwight. And Joel Embiid starting to enter the conversation, because that big motherfucker, if he could stay healthy for a whole season and get in shape, Joel Embiid could probably average 30. Probably more than 30. But Dwight Howard in his prime took a team to the fucking finals. And people for some reason keep saying, oh, he had a whole bunch of shooters around him. Bro, LeBron have shooters around him. Not to mention, he had players on his team that helped him win finals that were far better than the fucking players that Dwight had. Dwight Howard's best players on that team, not named Dwight, was what? Hedo Turkoglu, Jameer Nelson, Rashard Lewis. And I respect every single one of them players, especially Rashard Lewis. But, bruh, those are not Hall of Fame players. Those are not first ballot Hall of Fame players. Those are not NBA 75 worthy team players, bro. Mikael Petrus, like, I liked all them dudes. Motherfucker, them dudes ain't nowhere near the level of great of a Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Kyrie Irving. Kevin Love is better than them dudes. And no disrespect to Kevin Love, but Kevin Love folded in every single finals he played in, which was just absolute. Like, people want to say, oh, the Warriors won because of this and that. No, the Warriors won because Kevin Love folded in every single finals he played in. And I like K-Love, but Jesus Christ. Draymond put this motherfucker in a blender, in a fucking lock suit every time they played. Every time. I mean, the dude making more money than J.R. Smith, and J.R. Smith far better than him. As much as you want to hate J.R. for that play, J.R. Smith had way better finals year after year than Kevin Love, bro. But listen, I fuck with Kevin Love, but I'm just being honest with you. Go back and look at him. And for some reason, people don't want to remember that J.R. Smith actually played defense. He wasn't just a great scorer and a great shooter. And, you know, when he got hot, he got hot. But J.R. Smith actually could play defense, too. He and Iman Shumpert would play great defense on Curry and shit when they won that during the run where they won. Who y'all thought? Curry was out there being guarded by Kyrie? Stop it. Give them boys some love. You didn't think you was gonna hear no J.R. Smith reference and no Iman Shumpert reference on the game on the show tonight, but I just think the omission of Dwight Howard, like I said, don't compare the teammates that some of these other, because I hate it when I hear people say that, oh, he had these play. Bro, are you drunk? Like, bro, all the players I just named that LeBron had, Kobe had Shaq and Powell and Lamar Odom. All of those players are better than those players I just named for the Orlando Magic that Dwight had when he took that team to the finals. Like, what are we doing right now? The Celtics had a big three. Like, bro, I could legitimately name you multiple. Bruh, when the Mavericks went to the finals, Jason Kidd and fucking Jason Kidd is better than all the players that was on the team that they had. But Tyson Chandler, I can make an argument, was as good as those players. Bruh, it's just no way y'all gonna keep fucking shitting on Dwight Howard and trying to belittle his accomplishments and belittle his greatness, bro. Dwight Howard is one of the greatest centers to play this game. Is he Shaq, Hakeem, and those dudes? No. But for the time in which he played in, Dwight was one of the most dominant centers to play the game in his era. Not to mention was an absolute marvel and fucking freak of an athlete. Like, not to mention, if Dwight Howard hadn't got hurt, like started getting the back injuries, and if he could have just developed any type of semblance of a post game, then Jesus Christ, Dwight Howard might still be giving you 30 right now. because big man is coming back. I understand it's a 3-point lead shooting league, and I do not think your best player can be a big man. Even if Joel Embiid, I don't think Joel Embiid can be your best player, but it's offset when you got a perimeter player like Harden in a sense, but I'm not really high on Harden. I don't think the 76ers will win a championship. If they get to the finals, I think it's going to be because Joel Embiid and Jokic are bringing back the big man. Even though Jokic and Joel Embiid can both shoot, and Joel Embiid and Jokic both can play from the perimeter, and Jokic can kind of dribble a little bit to get to his spots. It's very unique how Jokic can, get to his spots with like different type of hop steps and like Euro steps and shit. It's interesting. Jokic is a very talented, skilled player, and Joel is just an absolute beast. So I think both of them could bring centers like the modern day center back, and I'm waiting to see what fucking James Wiseman do if he ever get healthy. But hey, Joel Embiid was hurt his first couple years before he became a freak of nature. Now you probably wondering why I'm not mentioning AD. Well, it's because AD doesn't even play center. He's a fucking power forward, and he doesn't like playing center. He doesn't like banging with the centers down low. And with as much as he get hurt, I guess I can understand it now. But listen, I'm just not as high on AD as everybody else. He put up all the meaningless ass stats in New Orleans, and yes, I understand everybody want to blame New Orleans for how bad AD was and how for him not winning or whatever. But listen, AD don't raise the level of play for none of his players, bro. Like, no teammate has ever become better because of AD as far as when we watching them play. Like, he don't raise the level of game of none of his players. They make him better because they have to feed him and get him looks. Like, players like that can't be your best player when they have to be the ones that's constantly being set up. When they can't constantly, like, and I understand people saying, well, he draw a double team and shit like that. Bro, AD was not drawing double teams every fucking game and throughout the majority of games. You can't just double team. Bro, AD was working one-on-one a lot of times, or they was trying to put a big center on him or something like that to fuck him up because they knew he didn't like contact. And yeah, sometimes you might throw a double team at him when he get hot. And AD is a great scorer. He played great defense as far as like AD can guard dudes on the perimeter at times. Now, I do remember like a couple years ago where dudes was cooking his ass on the perimeter, but AD a great defender. I'm not taking nothing away from AD. AD is a phenomenal player, great player. I'm not really a big fan, huge AD guy. But AD at his height to me is not better than Dwight Howard at his peak. Like, it's just not. Nah. I watched Dwight Howard have to carry a team. And when people hear carry, they think it's like, oh, the team's on his track. No, I'm not talking like that. But LeBron helped carry his teams to the finals, even when he had Wade and the boys. He had to be the driving force. He had to ultimately be the best player. The best player on the team ultimately had to be LeBron James. And to even a greater extent, Dwight Howard had to show up every night and be great for the Orlando team in order to get to the finals. And they beat LeBron James on the way to the finals. So, listen, I don't understand how AD made that fucking 75th anniversary team. I think people give him a lot of love for them pointless stats he put up in New Orleans and got knocked out by Golden State both of those years. And I understand they beat Portland in that first round that year, but that was Portland, bro. The man had one playoff series win his entire time in New Orleans, and only 2 playoff appearances. Once did they get past the first round. Both times they got knocked out by Curry. The first time they got knocked out by Curry wasn't even when the Warriors, I think they did win the championship that year, but that wasn't even like with KD in them. So, and one of the things that really made me go sour on AD, and I'm not gonna lie, because I remember this like it was yesterday, sitting in my dorm room with my brother talking about this. Because I never was watching AD a shit ton when he was in New Orleans because they wasn't good. And he was always hurt. When they got Boogie, they started, getting better. Even though he ended up getting hurt. And that just fucked up his whole career. But when I was watching AD in those playoff appearances against Golden State, I was watching him get locked up by Draymond for the majority of games. And I kept thinking to myself, and this before Draymond was, well known now as a elite defender and a top defender. But I'm looking at this motherfucker get locked up by Draymond, and I'm like, bro, he got like 4-5 inches on Draymond. How in the fuck is this dude letting Draymond throw him off like this? And I kept seeing it. Like, it became a usual thing where Draymond was the best defender as far as defending AD. And then a couple, like last year or like a year before that, it was a trend. Like, Draymond would start, people was calling Draymond the AD stopper. But I was seeing this shit before, like, people even was like making it a big thing. I was thinking to myself, like, how in the fuck is Draymond stopping AD? Like, obviously, great scorers going to still get their points, but AD was never having an impact on the game in which, made me think that his team was going to win. And a lot of those games, like, he did have good games against Draymond in certain games where he worked him. But for the most part, Draymond worked his ass every time they played. And I'm like, are you serious? That's the first time I realized the type of player AD was, because Draymond is such a physical player, and I realized it's the physicality that fuck AD up. If you just play a little soft touch thing with him, put a hand in his face, he can kill you. But if you play physical, bump him around and shit like that, man, you can throw AD all the way off his game. Man, try to bump around Dwight Howard in his prime. Try to bump the motherfucker around now. Like, to me, it's no shot. Dwight should have made that 70-15. But that's my rant about that. And I'm done with that rant. But, to me, All-Star Weekend, just a beautiful set of festivities. And they was saying Reggie and Dwayne was talking about, they should have had Kenny on the fucking thing with him. I just love I just love Kenny's commentary. But they was talking about, make it 30. Dwayne Wade out there saying, thank you, Steph. Thank you, Steph Curry. Thank you, Steph Curry. That's what I'm saying, bro. I called my moms and I was like, yo, if you don't turn on and watch this game, because for some reason my moms want to be watching Grey's Anatomy now. And I don't get it, bro. She just like my sister, bro. My sister done watch Grey's Anatomy all them seasons multiple times. And I'm just like, come on, man. Now my mom doing it. She called me the other day asking me how to program her TV up. She got a smart TV, how to set up the thing to put it on Grey's Anatomy. I'm like, bro, you and Kanisha the same fucking people, bro. And y'all like 30 years apart. Like, it's unbelievable. But the NBA All-Star Weekend was a success. And I told you yesterday, it was going to take a lot, probably, for the All-Star game to top the bullshit that we saw last night. But it easy topped it for me because, like I said, my favorite player in the NBA is Steph Curry. And Steph Curry won the first ever Kobe Bryant. But not the first ever Kobe Bryant award, because that's what the award was the last couple years. But this was the first time that the new trophy was made. And mind you, all the trophies they gave out this weekend was fucking fire. But this new Kobe Bryant trophy, oh, man, what an absolute beauty. And Steph Curry won it. What a beaut. Perfect weekend, really, if you ask me. Well, actually, I can't even say that because the dunk contest did still happen. Reggie tried to talk Ja Morant into joining the dunk contest next year, but he didn't give it a okay. He didn't give it a go, so you know what that means. Ain't happening. And Ja Morant had a nasty motherfucking dunk in this game. He had a couple nasty alleys in this game, but one of his alleys was disgusting. That motherfucker Ja Morant got some crazy ass bounce, yo. Crazy ass bounce. Bro, every time I think about Ja Morant, I just think about Zion Williamson. I just heard he about to have a second surgery on his foot, I think. Man, that's so depressing. He was first pick in the draft. Zion was first in the draft. Ja was second. And Ja is like, every time you got to compare their careers because they was in the same draft. And, man, if Zion could just get healthy, bro, because he had a great year last year. If he could just get healthy. I don't know if it's him not eating right. I don't know, bro. I just hope he can get in shape. Because Zion's supposed to be in this type of game. He's supposed to be in the All-Star Weekend, man. He's supposed to be in this shit. So, hoping that Zion get healthy, man, so he can be out there with his counterpart and his draft mate, Zion Williamson. Ja Morant. Because Ja Morant went stupid in this game. Like, he had Joel Embiid was trying to win that MVP of his team. They was talking about Curry winning it even if they lost. I'm like, nah, I don't subscribe to that. I love Curry, but I don't subscribe. But I was on the edge of my seat because I'm like, bruh, Team LeBron, come on, man, come on. We step it up. But when you got Bron, they lucky that Kawhi didn't. Because you remember the year they had Kawhi, Bron, Kawhi, Bron, Giannis, and Curry, I think. But ignore Curry. I'm talking defensively. You got Bron, Giannis, and Kawhi on the same fucking team. I was like, oh, yeah, no shot. Matter of fact, Curry might not even been on the team that year. That might have been the first year that it happened, and Curry was hurt that year. I was like, it's no fucking shot. That wait a minute, that might have been the year that Giannis drafted his team, and it was a stupid draft. And I thought he had drafted like terrible compared to how LeBron drafted. That had to be that year. Had to be. But either way, the All-Star game, specifically the All-Star game and the All-Star festivity, like the All-Star night, everything that happened tonight, success. The NBA pulled it off again. Like, they did it again. Another, like, it's two events that just seem to never disappoint me on a yearly basis. Like, every year, I know I'm going to be amazed and thrilled and thoroughly entertained. And the tickets for this All-Star game had to be crazy with all the legends in that fucking arena. Motherfucking Michael Jordan was there, bro. Michael Jordan came out. For the 75th team, they introduced last three people: Steph Curry, Magic Johnson. And I was like, oh, that's got to be it. You don't mention nobody after Magic. And this is what's crazy, because I had already was thinking to myself when they was introducing people, I was like, I wonder is Mike here? Because somebody had showed a video of Mike being at Daytona earlier rather than being at the meetup earlier. But that made sense to me because Bubba Watson is on Mike's team, so he went to go see Bubba Watson, knowing that he was just going to catch the private jet to make the All-Star game tonight. But after they said Magic, they had got so far along, I hadn't even was thinking about Michael. So I was thinking to myself, who in the fuck would they say after Magic? Motherfucker, Michael motherfucking Jordan. I said, the fucking GOAT is in the fucking building. Yo, Cleveland went nuts. Now, I know people going to make a big thing about how Jordan got cheered louder than LeBron, but what you need to realize is Michael Jordan is the fucking GOAT. Michael Jordan is bigger than basketball. Like, Jordan is, motherfucker, people going to love Jordan to the day he died, to the day they die, just because of the shoes and shit, bro. Like, Jordan is a international, worldwide brand, a universal brand. It just is what it is. You know, that's no shade at LeBron. It just, MJ is who he is. But when he came in, bro, the place went crazy. I'm like, these motherfuckers got MJ in here? Boy, the price of admission went all the fucking way up, my boy. All the way up. Like, shit was crazy, man. And NBA, what a successful night. Just a phenomenal night, man. From start to finish, all the celebrations of the players, the halftime celebrations and player. Earth, Wind, and Fire was there. I think that's who it was. Yeah, I think that's who it was. Just a phenomenal night all the way around. I enjoyed the whole thing, which I knew I would. WrestleMania and the NBA All-Star Game seem to be the two events that just absolutely never let me down. Every year I watch them, and I'm excluding the pandemic year for the WrestleMania. But just even the year where LeBron and them boys really didn't want to play the All-Star Game, the shit was great. Like, I'm just blown away every fucking year. Every year they find a way to up themselves and just do it better every year. I can't wait to see how they celebrate the players on the NBA's 80th. Because I think that's what you do next, right? The next most important one is the NBA's 80th anniversary. Oh, man, that's going to be so lit. Like, I just can't imagine how much better it's going to be. And I'm imagining that they're going to have an NBA 80th anniversary team. If you leave Dwight off of that fucking team, I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to be happy. And it's a good chance that he could get left off of it, seeing as how in the next 5 years, Ja Morant, Luka could go absolutely nuts. Them two dudes who wasn't even on the thing. Who's some other? Jokic wasn't on the 75th anniversary. in 5 years, he will more than likely be on the NBA's 80th anniversary team, without question. I don't think, was Joel Embiid on it? I don't think Joel Embiid made the 75th anniversary team. I don't think he did. He will definitely probably be on that motherfucker. Definitely, probably. You see how counterproductive that shit was right there. How what you call it? Counterproductive, whatever. But Joel Embiid, more than likely, Joel Embiid is going to be on the 80th anniversary team. If he wasn't on this one, and if he was on this one, he'll definitely be on the next one. But it's so many different dudes. Like if Ben Simmons get back right and start balling out again, he could be on the 80th anniversary team. So it'll be hard for Dwight to make it the second time if he didn't make it this time. But that's only if they decide to stop. If they don't hold him again, then he'll easily be on it, because he should have been on it anyways. It shouldn't even been hard for him to make the shit. Like, come on, man. But yeah, the NBA All-Star Weekend was a success. Just, bro, from start to finish, the All-Star game, All-Star night, the festivities on Sunday, phenomenal. A++++. No complaints from me. Absolutely no complaints. It put a smile on my face. I enjoyed it once again, like I do every year. I can't wait for next year when they come back again for the thing to start. Like I told you, start of the season every year for me for the NBA. NBA All-Star Weekend, and now the season is underway. So many great things to talk about when we get going. So many different things to talk about. Can't wait. Oh, I can't wait for that ball to bounce, the drop, the dribble. I can't wait. I can't wait. Steph Curry and the Warriors. Did this game wake Steph up? Draymond, when he gonna get back healthy? Is the Lakers gonna be able to turn their season around? Those Grizzlies looking scary. KD and them boys supposed to be healthy the second half of the season. Will New York drop the mandate? By the way, how fucking stupid is it that teams that come into play Brooklyn, their players who aren't vaccinated can still play, but Kyrie can't? How fucking stupid is that? I didn't even know that was a thing until recently. Like, come on, bro. How fucking stupid is that, man? And y'all's mad at Kyrie? Like, come on, bro. Change the fucking... That mandate got to come on. They're going to have to kill that. Like, Kyrie should be able to play, especially if you letting dudes who not even own Brooklyn, who play for a different team, come into Brooklyn unvaccinated and they can play. Like, come on, man. How stupid is that? I mean, that's just fucking stupid. Well, I think Charles Barkley said that's the stupidest fucking thing he done heard. Yeah, that's fucking stupid. Like, so come on, Brooklyn. But so many different storylines. Right now, I think the best team in the East is Milwaukee because of how much I love Giannis and how dominant a player Giannis is. But Listen, KD come back healthy. They fucking dropped this goofy ass contradictive mandate and let Kyrie play. And you get Ben Simmons. Oh man, this could be a dangerous team. They would probably be my NBA Finals pick, unless Draymond and Wiseman come back. Then that would be interesting, because then you would have. But man, who you gonna have guarding KD if he go crazy? Because even Draymond done said KD, like, oh man, it's gonna be exciting. But another great year for the NBA All-Star Game. Just absolutely loved it. Obviously, a dud of a NBA dunk contest, the 3-point contest. I mean, it was good. It wasn't as great as it's done been in recent years. And the skill competitions, I like the new wrinkles they put in it. But like I said, you can't move the dunk contest, because if they do come out here and absolutely put on a show in the dunk contest, you'll regret it if it's not the last show. So I get it. You can't move it. You just gotta pray and hope that these dudes get better. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all for joining me for NBA Week All-Star Weekend. I appreciate the NBA for putting on an absolute fucking show every year. I just love how they celebrate the players and the greats of the past, the present, and the future. It's just so great. Where else can you go and see Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Steph Curry, LeBron James, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Chris Paul, fucking Ja Morant, in the same Luka Doncic, in the same fucking place at the same time. Only at the NBA All-Star Weekend. So thank Cleveland for putting on an absolute, show, for being a great host city. Like I said, thank the NBA for I'm thankful for the NBA for putting on an absolute show, knowing how to celebrate these players, and thankful for these athletes who had to go out there and actually put on the show ultimately. Thankful that my man Chef fucking Curry ended up winning the MVP 50-piece. We just 3 points away from breaking it, man. So AD get to keep that record for another day. But in all fairness, AD wasn't hitting threes like Curry to get to his record. He was just dunking it and laying it up. I remember the year he got that shit because it was in New Orleans. But that shit wasn't valid. This shit was more valid, and the trophy looked better. So with that, I appreciate y'all for joining me for the NBA All-Star Weekend breakdowns, man, and recaps. I truly appreciate y'all for joining me, man. Tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them. Tell somebody to have a dope fucking day. And if you run into one of them motherfuckers that be like, don't tell me what to do, just tell them to have a dope day anyways, and then turn around and walk away and say, oh, this son of a bitch. But you have a dope fucking day. I fuck with you. I love you. Saint out.
I could drop 1,000,000 songs, but they never gon' understand us. Soapbox sermons for niggas never giving chances. Fight our whole lives to get these weak ass advances. Work twice as hard for the shit that they getting handed. And this ain't even nothing we chose, nigga, we branded. Still can't tell why all of these niggas mad at me. I'm trying to get 100 so I can put my team on salary. Give it all to the art, man, I turn my life to a gallery. Man, damn, what a fucked up masterpiece. 1,100 shots and I swear, man, I felt them all. If we ain't even good on our blocks, man, who can we call? Pre-decline state of mind, we broke crabs in the barrel. Got us fighting our folk, man, this shit just a life of peril.